Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to my Maktab by LMA with MLX Plus. We continue with the last of the battles in the reign of Umar radiallahu anhu. We're speaking today about the fall of Egypt. Egypt was the last conquest that took place in the time of Umar radiallahu anhu's reign. While Persia, Iran, Iraq, and the Roman Empire was now under Muslim control, Egypt was a large area and also needed to be taken down into small portions. Egypt was not a very difficult task. Umar ibn Al-As was already a trader and used to commute to Egypt frequently. The people were friendly, they knew him, and we could say he was a businessman, he was a trader. So he had ties in Egypt and he was well informed and he knew the surroundings. He asked Umar radiallahu anhu to supply him with some troops. First, Hazrat Umar was hesitant and did just not want to give in. After a while, Umar radiallahu anhu decided that it was okay. Umar radiallahu anhu sent 4,000 men to Umar ibn Al-As to use at his disposal. Hazrat Umar ibn Al-As looked at the territory and like again, Egypt fell very easily into the hands of the Muslims. For start, Maktab, a dear friend of the Roman emperor. Many of the Roman troops lived in a fort alongside the Nile River. So they had this fort where they housed Roman troops, as Maktab was a dear friend of the Roman emperor. Umar ibn Al-As radiallahu anhu further on into Fustat, and he asked Umar radiallahu anhu to supply him with more troops. Umar radiallahu anhu sent 10,000 men. Maktab fled, seeing the large army, and he was left all by himself. Fustat had now come under the control of the Muslims. Moving on to Alexandria, 21 years after Hijrah. Heraclius, being a friend of Maktab, was now upset at the fall of Fustat and he wanted to take revenge. He wanted his territory back. He sent an army to protect Alexandria. A siege lasted for many months, which made it difficult for the Muslims and for the Romans. Eventually, one of the Sahaba broke down the gates and they entered into the fort. Egypt now came under the control of the Muslims, and the Muslims were holding majority of Egypt. The captured soldiers had two options. They either accepted Islam or they paid jizya. Many had accepted Islam and many had also remained Christian. This is when the most of Egypt was now under Muslim control, and Umar radiallahu anhu was satisfied with what he had done. Coming back to a few points of Umar radiallahu anhu and how he gained this territory. He was a man of sound judgment. He always followed what the other Sahabas like Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, and he would always take advice. He never also overstepped his boundary. Being a man of high stature, high valor, where he conquered most of the world during his Khilafat, it is remarkable to think how much he did in the time frame that he did and how he did it. Umar radiallahu anhu was a mastermind in war, and he devised many plans. And again, I come to the point where many of these lands fell without bloodshed. It was just his approach, his demeanor, his way, and the way that the people looked up at him. Umar radiallahu anhu had set an excellent example in the government. And in today's time, we should look at his principles, his teaching, and his akhlaq. I leave you with that, and inshallah, in our next episode, we conclude with Umar radiallahu anhu and his assassination. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The kitab that I'm using is Khulafaa-e-Rashideen from the Lenasia Muslim Association.